What would you do if you signed a 5-year, $197 million contract with extra millions in endorsements and sponsorships? Would you do everything you can to secure your future and make sure that your endorsements and sponsorships stay secure for the next 5 years? I believe almost 100% of people watching this video will agree with me and say that they would do whatever it took to secure that cash, even more when you've been working for that kind of money since you were in middle school playing AAU ball. Enter the perplexing case of Demetrius Jamel Morant, or Ja Morant as we all know, an NBA phenom known for high-flying antics and flashy moves. An NBA All-Star and All-NBA player, Ja Morant has become one of the most loved NBA players. On July 1st, 2022, Ja Morant signed a rookie maximum of $197 million. But recent controversies have put not only Ja at risk, but also his pockets. We first see signs of trouble with Ja Morant on May 14, 2022, after a Twitter user called him P-whipped. Morant responded in a now-deleted tweet saying, "It's free to see how hollows feel," allegedly referring to shooting the user with hollow point bullets. But that was minor. I mean, it's just some banter between a fan and an NBA player, right? But there's more. On July 22nd, 2022, the Washington Post reported the same day that Morant threatened the head of security at a Memphis area mall during an altercation, causing the security guard to file a police report. The head of security alleged a member of Morant's group shoved him in the head, but no arrests were made. Well, now it's become physical, right? And with physical, there could be legal troubles. But wait, there's even more. On that same day, another report came out. 4 days prior, according to an employee of a Memphis area foot action store, Morant's mother was displeased with her service, so she called her son. Morant and 8 or 9 friends arrived at the store and threatened the employee while he hid in the back room for nearly an hour. However, Morant was not listed as a suspect and his mother was listed as unknown on a police report obtained by the Washington Post. I mean, when I heard this, I thought what mother would call their son and put them in a position that could result in violence or any physical altercations, especially if your son is someone who is a hothead or is surrounded by hotheads. But we still have more to get to. During an off-season pickup basketball game at Morant's house last July, a 17-year-old accused Morant of attacking him after a verbal altercation, according to court records obtained by TMZ. The teen told the police he accidentally hit Morant in the face with the basketball during the argument, which led Morant to punch the boy, knocking him to the ground, and then repeatedly hit him with the help of another man. The local district attorney chose not to charge Morant over the incident, but the teen later filed a lawsuit against Morant, according to TMZ. Morant said he was acting in self-defense. Morant told police that the teen threw the ball at his face intentionally and then approached him as if he wanted to fight. The NBA player also accused the teen of threatening to light his house up, which Morant interpreted as a threat to go get a gun. Morant filed his own police report over the threat. The Washington Post later reported that after the fight, the teen also accused Morant of going into his house and coming back out with a gun in his waistband and his hand on the gun. The next case was one that I actually witnessed unfold on TV and was perplexed as it was going down. At the end of the first half, during a January game between the Lakers and Grizzlies in Los Angeles, NFL Hall of Famer and current Fox Sports host Shannon Sharpe got into a verbal altercation with some Grizzlies players as they headed to the locker room. When Ja Morant's dad, T. Morant, approached the group, Sharpe and the elder Morant had to be separated. Dylan Brooks started to come at me and I said, "You don't want these problems," Sharpe said shortly after the incident. And then Ja came out of nowhere talking. He definitely didn't want these problems. Then the dad came and he obviously didn't want no problems, but I wanted anything they had. Don't let these fools fool you now. The next day, Sharpe apologized on his show and took full responsibility. You would think it should be enough now, right? But nope, there are still more incidents. During a January game against the Indiana Pacers, at least one friend of Morant appeared to get into a verbal altercation with players. Devontae Pack, the same friend accused of also punching the teenager at Morant's house, was seemingly ejected from his seat. According to The Athletic, acquaintances of Morant confronted members of the Pacers near their team bus after the game. A verbal altercation lasted for nearly 20 minutes, according to the report. Morant then entered one of the vehicles belonging to the group. Employees of the Pacers say They then saw a red laser coming from that car pointed at them. After an NBA investigation, they concluded that there was a confrontation, but that they could not corroborate that any individual threatened others with a weapon. But I believe Shannon Sharpe said it best. Ja is a really good basketball player, Sharpe said on his Fox Sports show, Undisputed. Ja did everything he could to lift himself and his family out of this type of environment and to get away from this, and for some reason he wants to surround himself with these type of people. Why? Bruh, you not hard? That's not your life. People in that life would give anything to be in your life. Others say Morant's issue is more about maturity and adjusting to his newfound fame and money. Morant grew up in a rural area of South Carolina and went to high school in Sumter, with a population of less than 50,000. Teammate Tyus Jones told The Athletic that Morant is just going through growing pains. Each year, Morant is getting more attention and he'll become one of the faces of the league, Jones said. So with that comes more responsibility both on and off the court. Sometimes that just takes some growing pains that you have to go through. It's not the same situation for him as it was last year. It's not the same last year as it was the year before. So you have to continue to grow, continue to learn. It's just life lessons. On March 4th, 2023, Morant went on Instagram Live and recorded himself waving a gun in a Colorado strip club. On March 12th, the NBA suspended Morant for 8 games without pay for conduct detrimental to the league. Morant didn't face any charges related to the incident, though Colorado police said in a statement the video was concerning. Morant entered a counseling program, and a few days later he spoke with ESPN's Jalen Rose, saying he doesn't condone any type of violence, but takes full responsibility for his actions. On May 14th, the Memphis Grizzlies suspended Ja Morant after a video of him flashing a gun on Instagram Live circulated online. The team released a statement on Twitter saying he is suspended from all team activities pending league review. Okay, so we've talked about all the incidents, so now let's talk about it. What Jay did wasn't legally wrong. That's the reason he hasn't been charged with any crimes. But the problem is there are a lot of politics in the NBA, and if you don't believe the NBA would use Ja as a sacrificial lamb to prove a point, you gotta be tripping. These incidents will and have limited Ja's opportunities for extra potential earning. Jay is a millionaire at this point and his contract is guaranteed, but would you rather have 200 million when you could have 250 or 300 million? But then there's also the safety aspect. Jay portraying a gun means that you're probably going to have to use that gun. When you portray a gangster, you're going to have to be a gangster when the time comes. Then there's also an image problem to be portraying. You grew up in a 2-parent household, not in the hood. But let's just say you are a gangster. That doesn't mean you have to keep portraying yourself as a gangster. Take DeMar DeRozan. He was a former gang member, but you don't see him throwing up gang signs and waving a piece around like it's his lifeline. Stop trying to look cool for the wrong people. If you want to be a gangster, then stop playing basketball and start shooting another type of object. But that's just me. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video.